Hello, this is Miss Friedewald, and this is your introduction to the principles of design. Today we'll talk about pattern. Pattern's a pretty easy principle of design to understand because you've been learning it since elementary school. Pattern is defined as a repetition of an element or a combination of elements in a recognizable organization. So when you have that element or combination of elements that you're repeating, that individual element or combination is called a motif. So you're repeating the motif in an organization. So we learn about patterns in math class with numbers. So you probably remember something that looked similar to this from elementary school where you have green square, red circle, green square, red circle, green square, green square. What comes next? So the purpose of pattern in art is that it establishes a visual rhythm that can create a sense of movement. It can add variety, and it can be used to unify a composition or add emphasis. So in the world around us, because we visually like that stimulation, we put patterns on everything from clothing to wallpaper to our home furnishings to the items that we use every day, like mechanical pencils and hairbrushes and things of that nature. We even have patterns on the bottoms of our shoes. We also find patterns in nature. For instance, the petals on a flower, the way they come out from the center, or the way I don't know what they're called, the little pieces on a pine cone come out from the cone itself. Patterns are everywhere. So to look at an art example, we're going to look at this painting by Matisse. And in this painting, not to just read straight from the slide, but to some degree, that's what's got to be done. There are tons of patterns. You've got the dashed lines on the light gray or white surface that the woman is laying on. Underneath of her, you have a yellow pillow with curved lines. You have a green pillow with a leaf type pattern, a red pillow with another type of leaf that's kind of elongated. There's a vase with patterns. The vase is on a pedestal with patterns. Behind the lady, it looks like either wallpaper or curtains in a green and a black with red design pattern. She's wearing a purple coat, hence the title, Woman in a Purple Coat, with white stripes that go the length of the coat. She's wearing a shirt underneath that's white with a gray pattern, green on her bottom with a design on that as well. This entire painting is just filled with patterns. So in this painting, what the patterns do is they help to add visual interest. If he had left just solid colors, it would be pretty boring and flat to just have these large expanses of purple or yellow or white. There wouldn't be a whole lot going on, and it would seem really flat, very two-dimensional. So a pattern added to that breaks up those spaces and makes them more interesting. The patterns create a great deal of movement throughout the composition. That's particularly noticeable on her jacket, the way they curve, the lines curve over where you would have curves in the fabric. And they go from the length, from the top all the way down to the bottom and almost look like it's flowing because of that. You wouldn't necessarily have that same effect if it was just solid purple with no pattern over top. Combined with the other elements, like the vibrant purple that's only used on her coat, along with the yellow, which is the complementary color of purple used on either side of her, and the way her arms are laid out, and all of the elements kind of point to her in the center, pattern adds to the effect of creating a focal point and emphasis. It creates a really strong sense of unity in this piece because everything is covered in pattern. And it adds variety to kind of break up the monotony of what would be boring if there wasn't a whole lot going on in this particular painting. So now it is your turn to practice identifying pattern. So in the following images, I'd like for you to look at the images, identify the pattern, and establish what purpose it serves in the artwork, what effect it has.